You know what time it
Time to
is.
stand up and speak your mind. In this elitist jungle, keep the beats alive. Whether yoga or doja that keeps you high. Gotta stay up, cause on the street you die. Time to wake up and see the light. Stop counting sheep, seize your life. Free your eyes and see suns rise on the horizon. Where the street meets the sky. The master's ignorance feeds our master's greed.
Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. What's up, y'all? Let's see. Neighbor's dog is barking this morning. Thought about going over there and knocking on the door and saying, hey, dude, what's up with the dog? But it's like 5:30 in the morning. Yeah, anyway, I like to open up the doors and open up the house a little bit. Let that cool air in. Here in Arizona, it gets to be fucking, God knows, 100 and some odd. And so in the mornings when it's like 70 like this, I like to pop open all the house and let all the cool 70-degree air in here. Help that air conditioner chill itself out during the day. Anyway, let's see. Let's see, last weekend, we had a nice long weekend. It was really good. Anyway, I went to visit a friend. I went to visit an old friend who I haven't seen in a long time. And as I was spending time with her, and we're hanging out and we're talking, and she said something to me about, you don't have to justify that. And I was like, oh, really? And she goes, yeah, she goes, you don't have to justify. She goes, you do that a lot. And I was like, really? She goes, yeah, you justify a lot. You justify. And I thought, that's interesting. That's really interesting. And so I thought about it, and I thought, let me think on that. Let me think on that a little bit. Justifying. And that definitely comes from something that is coming from inside, right? Why do I need to justify? I was talking with my mom about it a little bit as well. It's good to talk to, I talk to my mom quite a bit. And I think it's really good to talk to your parents if you have a relationship with your parents. My mom and I, we have a pretty open relationship. We communicate. We don't always do the best, but we do communicate regularly. And so let's look up some definitions, okay? My mom and I were talking about the difference between justifying and explaining yourself. So let's look up the definition for explain. So the definition for explain is a verb, and it's to make an idea, situation, or problem clear to someone by describing it in a more detail or revealing relevant facts or ideas. So make an idea, situation, or problem clear to someone by describing it in more detail or revealing relevant facts or ideas. Okay. In more detail, right? Make it clear to someone. Now, justifying. Justify definition. To show or prove to be right or reasonable. Aha. Show or prove to be right or reasonable. This resonates with me, right? This resonates with me a lot. Prove myself. To prove myself. So it's one thing to explain something to somebody, right? To give them more details, right? To give them the details of the situation. But if you're trying to prove yourself, now we're getting somewhere. Why do I need to prove myself about this thing? What do I need to prove? Who am I proving myself to? Is it you or is it me? And I think a lot of the time, the reason I go into this justification mode is because I'm actually trying to justify it for myself. And I think that if I don't justify it to you, then you won't approve of me. But really, perhaps it's about me. Really, it's about me, right? Justifying why I do what I do. How can I justify this podcast? I wonder how much I've done that up to this point in this podcast with you guys, right? Justifying why I'm doing this podcast. Oh, because I want to connect with people. Is that a justification? Or am I explaining? Really interesting. How much do you justify? Do you justify? You know, I'm not saying that you shouldn't sometimes, or that you can't or couldn't, or that it's not justified to justify. My friend noticed that I did it a lot. And again, enough so that she would say something to me like, dude, you don't have to justify with me. Like you're always justifying. Really? A lot? She goes, yeah, a lot. Huh. A lot. Justifying. So now it's something that I'm thinking about. It's up to the surface. It's something that's going to go in my journal. That's going in my journal. Enough for me to want to do a podcast about it, to think about it, and to talk about it with you guys about it, and see what kind of clarity we might be able to have. I might be able to have. Justify versus explain. I'll tell you, the thing that popped up in my head, the thing that she said to me when it came up was, I was talking about building the recording studio, which I've talked to you guys about before as well. And I started to justify the reasons I built the recording studio. And she said to me, you don't have to justify. You built the recording studio. It's awesome. And I thought, okay, because I guess initially I thought that I was just telling the story. But then as she said that, I paused to think about what I was saying, the words I was saying. And I thought, holy shit, I am attempting to justify this with you. And I think one of the reasons I do that is because there's a part of me that needs to justify it to myself. Why did I build the recording studio? And maybe it feels like for myself, because I wanted to do it, isn't necessarily enough. Well, because I wanted to build a recording studio. It felt like an awesome thing to do, and so I did it. And that's enough. I don't need to, because there's this and that, and so I, because these things, and I thought this, and so I did that, and because this person this, and they were that, and I thought, no. Why'd you build a recording studio? Because I thought it would be fucking awesome, so I did it. And it was fucking awesome, dude. It was fucking really awesome. But anyway, right? So, man. Now I'm wondering, how much of this do I do on a daily basis? How much justifying am I doing? How much justifying are you doing? Do you need to justify? I think that there are probably some situations where you're going to need to justify, declare, or make righteous in the sight of God. Okay. Show or prove to be right or reasonable. The person appointed has fully justified our confidence, right? You may need to justify some things. But I don't think it needs to happen on a daily basis. Adjust a line or piece of text of the print. That's printing. That's in printing. Let's look up another piece of this. He tried to justify his behavior by saying that he was being pressured unfairly by his boss. He tried to justify his behavior by saying he was being pressured unfairly by his boss. Justify your behavior. Now that's another thing. That's another thing that we do. That's another kind of justify, actually. That's another kind of thing that we do. We will justify our behaviors based on the projection of the person we want to be that we're presenting. So I don't know if I talked about the projection thing too much. But projecting is the thing that the face that you put on, or the identity that you attempt to become or be based on the idea of what it is that you want in your head. So if you have this idea in your head of what a good person should be, then you will project that onto others and onto yourself. You will project that idea out, and then you will behave in a manner that attempts to be that good person, and then you will justify those behaviors based on that projection rather than necessarily on what's happening in reality. So if you have an idea of the perfect match for yourself, right? What does the perfect woman look like? The perfect relationship. Now, I use the word perfect, right? Because usually when you have that idea in your head, it's of perfection. It's this idea of the perfect person, right? Which isn't reality in the first place. So even think about that. Oh, what's the perfect person for me? Okay, you fucked up because there's no such thing as perfect. Okay, dial that back. What's good enough? What's good? Okay, let's dial back perfect. Let's dial back to good, right? Oh, what's my idea of a good woman? Okay, what is your idea of a good woman? Well, I better write that stuff down in my journey, right? What do I think a good woman is? What are the values, qualities, characteristics, right? And remember, we talked about respect. So these would be the qualities, right? Deep admiration for someone based on their achievements, their qualities, and right. So these would be the things, the values I would value, the characteristics I would value in a good woman. Now, I'm going to project that onto somebody. Those ideals I will project in my mind onto you, the potential woman, my partner, my friends, my whatever. right? I will project those ideals onto you. And if you don't live up to them, well, now we do that to ourselves as well. Okay? I have this idea, again, a projection. I project this idea onto myself, and I will justify certain behaviors, prove to be reasonable, prove to be right or reasonable, right? Now, a lot of times, there's no need to prove. Excuse me, I'm going to blow. Oh, they come in twos. Bless me. Bless me, Father. So justifying, right? We'll justify our behavior. We'll justify the way we act. We'll justify the decisions that we make because we think we're living up to this projection. This can be difficult. This is difficult territory, right? This takes work. This takes thought. This takes practice to recognize this, right, in ourselves. Now, I think I know that this is something I do, justify, but I don't necessarily know if I know the extent of it. And my friend, having said it to me, really brought it up to the surface. And now I'm really paying attention. I'm really working on paying attention to what it is that I'm justifying, to see how much of it I'm actually doing. And that's really quite interesting to do. You know, it's a very interesting thing. Am I justifying? See, I'm in my head right now thinking about it as I'm doing this podcast. I want to be able to catch myself when it's happening. I want to be able to be aware of it and identify it to see if that's what I'm doing. Am I justifying? Am I justifying? I wonder how much I do it at work with my customers, justifying. So, you call your boss. You want to take the day off. I want to take the day off today. Why? Why do you want to take the day off? Generally speaking, if I want to take a day off, I mean, I have time on the books, and I have sick time and personal time and vacation time. And as long as the job's getting done and the customers are taken care of, pretty much don't need to have a real reason to take a day off other than, hey, boss, I need to take the day off today. And most of the time, my boss will say, sure, Jay, take the day. Everything covered? Yeah, everything's covered. Awesome, take the day. But if I'm insecure about it, let's just say I want to take the day off to go have fun rather than I need to take the day off to handle some personal stuff, which technically, if we're telling the truth, having fun could be personal. I mean, it is personal stuff. I got to take care of some personal shit. But we'll feel guilty. I will feel guilty because I will think that I should be this projection of a good person or a strong person or a honest person, integrity, whatever these projections are, these ideas are of a person doesn't take the day off from work just to go have fun. We don't take the day off to go have fun. That's what the weekends are for. Why do you need to take Thursday off to go have fun? You should be at work, right? So, and some of those projections are coming from outside, from society's idea of what we should or shouldn't be doing. So it's really interesting to dive into these ideas and these projections that we have, right? So you project that onto yourself, and in the asking of taking the day off to your boss, do you automatically go into justification mode? Well, boss, I need to take the day off because, I need to I need to take care of some stuff. Now, that could become a lie really quickly. That could become a lie. And you could twist that up into this deal and tell yourself, well, I'm just going to twist, into your twisto flexo it goes. To justify yourself telling a little white lie, to make yourself seem like you're this good person, to not feel guilty or ashamed of yourself for wanting to take the day off of work, right? But the simple fact of the matter is if you've earned the right to take the day off, right, and everything's covered, you have time off, you've given some notice. I mean, you can call in today and say, hey, I need to take the day off today. That's it. Really, you don't need to explain yourself or justify any further. Hey, boss, I need to take the day off today. Cool. Take the day. Now, if your boss asks why, well, why do you need to take the day off? I need to take care of some personal stuff. That's not a lie. If you want to go off-roading because you think you need to go off-roading and you again, if you have the time off, if everything's covered at work, like you're not going to get behind because you're going to go screw around, right? And you're covered, there should be no reason why you can't take a day off to go do the things you want to do. And that's personal care. See, I'm justifying right now. I'm justifying. But let's be honest. I mean, just be honest about, right? You can say, I need to take a personal day. And that's exactly what it is. There's no need to lie or twisto flexo the thing in order to justify yourself to make it seem like you're being a good person. Just come out with it. The least amount of information possible. I need to take the day off. Why? Because I need some personal time. You got it. My boss is super cool. He, generally speaking, he doesn't ask. If I say I need to take the day, right? To be honest with you, I want to take the day today. And yesterday he called me up and he was like, hey, dude, I need your help with this big thing we got going on over here. And we're getting a couple of guys together. And I know you're on top of things. I know you're on point. And I need your help. And I was like, damn it. I was going to take the day off tomorrow. And he's like, oh, shit. He goes, well, look, can you come over? We're going to get out there early, only a couple of hours. And then after that, handle your business. And I was like, cool, that's perfect. Show up 7 a.m., 7, 8, 9, maybe 10, be done by 10, head off, finish the rest of the day. And no questions asked. He was like, okay, cool. Can you just give us a couple hours in the morning? Absolutely. And he would have given me the day off anyway, but he needed that help. But like I said, there was, my boss is super cool about it. So we have that relationship, but he just knows sometimes we got to take care of business. He also knows that I handle the business of the business. He knows that I handle that. So we get it done. And it's cool like that. Now, was I explaining to you just now? Or was I justifying? Now I'm all in my head about it a little bit, right? I'm working on not being overly concerned. Don't overly concern myself with whether I'm justifying or explaining. Because down the rabbit hole we go. Yeah. Interesting. Justify versus explain. Interesting. So, get in those comments. Talk to me about justify versus explain. Do you justify? How often do you justify? Have you noticed me justifying? Let me know. if any of you guys are out there are professionals, listen, I'm by no means am I a psychologist, a psychiatrist. Do I have a degree in psychology? None of that. I am just your regular dude, right? Smart as fuck. Oh, don't get me wrong. I might be smarter than half these fucking jokers out here that are psychoanalytical jackasses. Fucking quacks. Is that what you call yourselves? I mean, is that what I'm? You don't call yourselves quacks. Fucking quacks. I believe that's the term for it, though. That's the derogatory, non-PC, anti-PC. Quacks. Some of you quacks got a lot of work to do on yourselves before you go out there and start trying to... I kid the quacks with love. No, but seriously, I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a therapist. I'm just a man who I see a therapist. I'm just a man, a human on this planet who's very curious about the workings of the world. I'm very curious about my place in it, my purpose in it, and your purpose in it, and all of our purpose. What is your purpose? What is my meaning? What is our meaning? What is this all about? I want to figure it out, and I want to do the best I can, right? I want to get better. I want to learn. I want to grow. I want you to learn. I want you to grow, and I want, I want the best for all of us. Really, honestly, I do, and so I'm curious. And so I ask questions, and I would like to share my experience. In the rooms of Alcoholics Anonymous, they talk about, sharing your experience, your strength, and your hope with other individuals that they may be saved, right? And that's a God thing too, be of service a little bit and share. I just want to share these things with you and share my thoughts and get them out there. And so... if you're a professional, where was I getting at? If you're a professional out there, and you may have some deeper knowledge, some deeper training than I do, please get in those comments and share with me where I might be able to learn about how I'm sharing in this podcast that may be more effective communication. Maybe I'm missing a piece of the puzzle. There could be a piece of the puzzle I'm missing here about justifying versus explaining. Maybe there's another piece that I'm missing that, boop, light bulb, aha. Could be something I'm missing. Please let me know. That's something that Jordan Peterson talks about. He talks about, always assume that there's something you can learn from the person that you're having a conversation with. Don't assume that you know everything, because the truth is you don't know everything. I don't know. I don't know shit. I'm a moron. I mean, I just got through saying I'm smart. I am smart, but there's always something to learn. I don't know everything. I could put some pieces together and come up with some pretty damn good justifications and explanations of why and where and who and how and what, and I'm pretty good. Got a pretty good noodle inside there. Works pretty decently. Works better than a lot of jokers out there. But that doesn't mean I know everything, and I like to learn. I want to learn. If the ego's getting out here, calm that ego down, right? And let me see if I can learn something. Is there something I can learn from you guys? There's always something to learn. I want to learn. So please get in those comments. Let's talk about this a little bit. Do you justify? Get in your journals. Ask yourself if you're justifying, right? Think about it during your day. Am I justifying? The definition one more time. To show show or prove to be right or reasonable. So are you trying to prove yourself reasonable? Or are you trying to prove that you're right? See, I think one of the things I did with the recording studio, I was trying to prove that my actions were reasonable. Not necessarily that they were right, but I think what it is that I was trying to find a reasonable, are they reasonable? Was it reasonable for me to build a recording studio? And a lot of that may come from myself as well. Did I think it was reasonable? I know I wanted to do it. That's all. And that's all that matters. Did you want to do it? Did you want to do it? Yeah? Then go for it. Fuck. You need to justify it to anybody. I fucking wanted to do it. So yeah, get in those comments. Let me know what's up. Justify versus explain. Should we go back to the definition of explain one more time, just for the record? Explain. Make an idea, situation, or problem clear to someone by describing it in more detail or revealing relevant facts or ideas. Okay, more detail. Relevant facts or ideas versus proving if it's reasonable. Make clear or prove to. Make clear or prove. Okay. We're getting somewhere. All right. Peace. Love you guys. I'm out.
You know what time it
Time to
is.
stand up and speak your mind. In this elitist jungle, keep the beats alive. Whether yoga or doja that keeps you high. Gotta stay up, cause on the street you die. Time to wake up and see the light. Stop counting sheep, seize your life. Free your eyes and see suns rise on the horizon, where the street meets the sky.
The master's ignorance feeds our master's greed. Open your mind